Hello, my name is Chandler Burmeister, and this is my presentation on Andy Warhol. Okay, so I'm just going to go over some of the pictures on the starting slide. Warhol's paintings of Campbell's soup cans are an iconic American staple, first created as a series of 32 canvases to resemble cans of soup on a grocery store shelf in 1962. They caught people's attention of all the world and were one of the first artworks in the pop art movement. Each of the original soup cans were painted a different flavor of Campbell's soups. Warhol's inspiration for the soup cans had to do with a personal connection he had with them. He used to have the soup every day for lunch for about 20 years of his life. Warhol took the themes of repetition and mass production further by creating two portfolios of Campbell's soup screen prints in 1968 and 1969. So now on the bottom right is Marilyn Monroe. In 1967, Warhol established a print publishing business, Factory Editions, through which he published a series of screen print portfolios on his signature subjects of Marilyn Monroe. He was the first one. He used the same publicity still of the actress that she had previously used for dozens of paintings. Each image here was printed from 5 screens, one that carried the photographic image and 4 different areas of color, sometimes printed off register. Warhol completed the painting weeks after the death of Marilyn Monroe, used in one of his most notable ways to create this painting, which was silk screening. Okay, going to slide 2. Some fun facts about Andy Warhol. So, his birth date was never recorded at a hospital. Then he had a large interest in film and music. He was also shot 3 times by a feminist named Valerie Solaris and nearly died on June 3rd. Then when Andy was 14, his father died from liver disease. His father considered Andy as one of his smartest children and saved money for him to go to college. So here's background information from slide 2. He was born Andrew Warhol on August 6, 1928 in a 2-bedroom apartment in a working class neighborhood in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. His family was a group of immigrants from an area in the Carpathian Mountain, eastern Slovakia. He had 2 brothers, Paul and John, and Andy being the youngest. Okay, slide 3. Why I chose Andy Warhol? I chose Andy Warhol because he was a key influencer in the pop art movement. The pop art movement is really interesting to me. Warhol and his work has inspired creative artists worldwide, thanks to his enduring imagery. When I read about his background and how he was diagnosed at an early age with a rare neurological disorder, the young Andy Warhol found an escape in the form of popular celebrity magazines and comic books. So, Andy became a very famous celebrity, and then once he created his artwork, he opened up a studio called The Factory where he liked to work on his art and had large parties with wealthy individuals and celebrities. So slide 4. So the style / period of art belongs to. The style and period / of art that Andy's artwork belongs to is the pop art movement. Modern art and postmodernism. The pop art movement is most associated with New York. Andy Warhol, who broke the private concerns of abstract expressionists and turned to the themes which touched on public life and mass society, he designed Campbell's soup and Coca-Cola ads. Andy Warhol had a large impact in the pop art movements. from his portraits of famous people and creation of commercial art products, changed the minds of artists of that time. So his mediums, the mediums that Andy Warhol used were painting, photography, sorry, I can't pronounce, screen printing, and printmaking. Silk screening, was also known as screen printing, was Warhol's most used medium during the pop art movement. First, he would stretch a bit of mesh over a frame, and the better the mesh, the more thorough the resulting picture would be. Then he would lay the screen on an apex of his paper print. Next, he would block off the parts of the screen using a stencil. After this, he would apply photo emulsion. The image then become visible on the screen or mesh. To give the image final touches, he would place the screen on the surface that he wanted to create or how he wanted the image to appear. Printmaking also appealed to Warhol as it allowed him to repeat a basic image and create endless variations of it by using different colors or sometimes adding paint to print the surface. In addition to his interest in painting, creating box sculptures and photography, Warhol also worked in additional mediums, including record producing, magazine publishing, and filmmaking. So his major influences were Marcel Duchamp. He is a French-American painter / sculptor, chess player, and writer. He associates mostly with Cubism, Dada, and conceptual art, although he did not really like to be associated with Dada art. Jasper Jones is an American painter, sculptor, and printmaker who associates himself with abstract expressionism. Ben Shahn, born in Lithuania, he is an American artist best known for his creations of social realism. Also led a series of lectures of left-wing political views called The Shape of Content. Jack Smith, he is an American filmmaker, actor, and pioneer of the so-called underground cinema. He is also recognized as a master photographer, although his works of photography remain rare and unpublished. Okay, so his most notable artworks are the 60s pop art paintings of consumer products. So we have the Campbell soup can, and not pictured, but it's the Coca-Cola picture, and a little bit of background of the Coca-Cola picture is Andy Warhol wanted to depict a meaningful way of equality when painting the picture. It really set the tone that the Coke bottle might be the same, but we were all different and unique. It helped give a positive feedback to his viewers and grow the customer base for the company. So he also liked painting portraits of stars like Jackie Kennedy, Marilyn Monroe, and then Elvis Presley. How successful was he financially? Andy Warhol was very successful financially. Despite having no money when he was a child, his art was very popular and used in many ads and commercials. Andy made a lot of profit from his art being used in so many ads. He is instantly recognized for his pop art of the Campbell soup and the Coke bottles. He is still very famously recognized of this till this day. Importance/role. He unveiled the concept of pop art and showcased a collection of paintings that focused on mass-produced commercial goods. His artistic risks and constant experimentation with subjects and media made him a pioneer in almost all forms of visual art. His unconventional sense of style and his celebrity entourage helped him reach the megastar status which he aspired. Some interesting facts about Andy Warhol. When he was 8 years old, he caught a liver disease that caused his limbs to sometimes spasm uncontrollably. His birth date was never recorded. We already went over this. And then he was also shot 3 times in the chest. Yep, we went over that. Then he died in the hospital after surgery on his gallbladder.